today was a really good work day. I thought our guys, back-to-back days, here on the bye week, have come out with a lot of energy. Obviously, it's a shortened practice. Still got our situational work, 2-minute third downs, a little bit of red zone, being able to just continue to grow and develop. But I thought the guys brought the right mindset in meetings, out to the practice field. Was impressed with their approach, and I think everybody has a sense of urgency to get better, to continue to improve. All of them pushing in the same direction, trying to just be better than what we've been and more consistent than what we've been. And so I thought it was a good day, and definitely I think it's a well-deserved day off tomorrow for these guys. There's been a lot of sacrifices that they've had to do throughout the course of this season, and the off season, everything dealing with COVID. I mean, we've been going pretty good. Since the middle of July, and we're going to have an off day tomorrow. We'll come back, for a short session, about the same amount of time there on Friday and Saturday, just being able to get an introduction into Pitt and starting our work week. So, with that, I'll leave for questions.
First question will be Irish Hotel.
You said on your coaches show Monday night that you wanted to take this time to maybe reflect a little bit on things that the team has got to work on, but also things that you've done well. How has that process gone? And is that more for the coach's perspective or shining the light on that to the players?
No, I mean, I think it's both. I mean, at the end of the day, we have to, this is a time to really reflect and evaluate, who we are, and things that guys are confident in doing, things that guys have executed well, things that might be critical within all phases of our unit's offense, defense, and special team that we have to get cleaned up. Whether it's a concept, whether it's an adjustment, just the different variations of what guys are being asked to do, so that they can. So it's more second nature to their reaction within the course of the game. And obviously it's been a big fundamental week, and seeing the things that we're working in practice, what are showing up consistently on film, and what's not. And then how are we emphasizing that? What do we need to do to get that application there on game day, and that's been more of what we've tried to do, and guys know. I mean, it's you see, you hear the corrections that are necessary. You practice them through the course of the week, but then it's got to show up on game time in the moment. Regardless of situation, regardless of circumstance. I mean, we've got to go out there and execute and play at a high level. And it still comes down to blocking, tackling, making throws, making catches, making sure that we're owning the football. And when you get the opportunity to make a play, you got to make the play. And so that's something that we've had a big emphasis on throughout the course of the week, and going to continue to do so.
Coach, kind of in a similar vein, you mentioned that you guys have been working since the middle of July, and you have this next play mentality, next play matters, next game is what is important. But do you take the time to reflect on this season as a whole, or how do you put it in context? This is a whole season, this is a whole product, it's a work in progress, results will come and go.
Well, I mean, I think that you reflect on the examples, good and bad, that you have, those experiences. We've seen with a good week of preparation, and a point of emphasis in certain areas, how that shows up on game day. Obviously, like I mentioned, yesterday, I see a different mindset and approach to the work that we're doing, and we have to be more consistent, in the details of how we're executing, the plans and the things that we're being asked to do, throughout the course of the game. But I think the thing that our guys are appreciating is they are learning. They are being coached in every aspect, and we're gonna hold them to an extremely high standard. And there's a lot of different ways to do it, but we're building a foundation for what it's gonna be to be able to sustain success. And we've got to make sure that everybody's pointing in the same direction. Everybody's coming out each and every day to be the best version of themselves. themselves and continue to work on those little things. And, I think that, our guys appreciate that. They kind of embrace that challenge, and we just have to continue to work through that process and continue to establish the foundation of what this program is and is going to continue to be.
Go back to Ira for one game.
There's been different circumstances in every game, and I mean, even this past week, you guys had a really nice drive to start the second half. But overall, the offense hasn't produced a lot of points in second half this season. Is there anything concerning about that, or do you feel like the offense has been as efficient as it needs to be in the second half for their?
No, I mean, we need to finish drives in the second half. I mean, you go back and look at games, and we've moved the ball, and, and that's one of those things that you talk about those moments of sometimes guys pressing, trying to do, too much. I mean, you get, you sit there and you look at it like we've been inside the red zone in the second half, numerous of times that we've come away with no points, or we've had a mistake or something that's a setback, and that has to end. And you sit there and you look to have a reason of why that's showing up. I mean, one of the things that I do think is that guys get caught up on, whether what the scoreboard is or the sense of urgency of the play, and rather than just focusing on going and doing your job, you can go back into a couple games throughout the course of the season. I mean, we'll run a play in the first half and we execute it, to a very high level. Second half, no adjustment of a defense, same look, and we'll have a uncharacteristic bust of what we have done throughout the game, because guys think they see something, or they think that they need to do something more than what they really need to do in the overall execution. And that's where just the confidence in what you're being asked to do, the confidence of what you've already done, and then just to apply it to finish drives. And that's something that has to show up better, because you look through the course of the season, and it's not that we're not moving the ball. I mean, we're having drives in the second half. It's just we're not doing a very good job of finishing those, and for a variety of different reasons.
All right, go back to Ira.
Ja'Kai Douglas got some opportunities in the return game. Did you see what you were hoping to see out of him, or what are you looking for there?
I think Ja'Kai's a guy that, you look at his impact in our special teams unit. He's really coming on these last few weeks. Had the block punt against North Carolina. He had we put him back at returner, this last week, and he showed some good things. There's a couple, that we were extremely close on a handful of those kickoff returns, and excited about what he's going to be able to bring to that unit. We put him out on our punt team and our punt coverage, and he was monumental in that unit. I think at the fumble recovery, once again another impact play there late in the game, but really forced a lot of fair catches throughout that contest, just by the work that he's putting in. So I've seen a lot of growth from him. He's had a few plays on offense, but he's really growing in his confidence of the expectations of what to do. And I think that being able to get the ball in his hands, he is an explosive player. He's a guy that has tremendous speed. He's a strong young man, and brings a lot of versatility to this football team.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned that sometimes the guys were pressing and trying to do too much, particularly on defense. Do you guys think maybe you guys are trying to do too much for the young defense, or it's just guys getting behind in the game and pressing?
I think in each game plan you have, you bring into the game what you put your guys in the best position to be successful. Obviously you are. You hopeful that the execution and the production of what you're asking guys to do, but you've got to let each play be its own play. And there's times that something will happen early. We had a couple times that we were in man coverage where for whatever reason we take our eyes off of our man, and it doesn't you get exposed in those situations, and that's a base fundamental of this is my man, this is where my eye should be, but with all the all the right intentions, I want to be able to help to get a stop. If you have a lapse in focus, a lapse in judgment, and I mean that's where that can show up to hurt you. And so those are things that we just got to continue to grow and develop, and make sure that we're consistently doing the things necessary, whether it's playing a gap, playing where we need to be within a coverage, and just play with confidence that if I do my job to the best ability, the guy next to me will do his job, and that's really where you're not trying to do more than you need to be successful. Ira's winning the championship for the most questions asked in one press conference.
I can do this all day. The thing with, you talked about the way the guys have responded this week. Do you feel like they're at the point now where they can, it had to be a really emotional 7 or 8 days to go from the high of winning that North Carolina game to losing the Louisville game. How have they been able to respond to that? And is that one of the areas you've been impressed by their growth? I
have, the kind of my challenge to them, and I might have said this earlier in the week, but this week our focus is just on grit. And just being able to to be persistent through with passion and perseverance through obstacles and through challenges, and that's part of life. And as you sit there and you look at the highs and lows that you're going to go through in life, the highs and lows that you're going to go through in a football season, in a football game, that's the inner passion. And just being able to persevere through those circumstances, man, that's what will set you apart. That's what will give you an opportunity to be successful as you move forward. And nobody likes coming up short. Nobody likes being defeated. But if even through that negative moment, if you can stay focused on your growth, if you can stay focused on correcting the mistakes that are holding either you back as an individual or us back as a football team, and we can continue to improve in those and make those adjustments, then I absolutely believe in what we can accomplish and what we will accomplish. And so I think our guys understand that. It was emotional, and I think there was part of that, and I shared that. I think especially there. In the Louisville game, once when we fell behind and gave up some of those explosive plays, and they had the momentum, I think it shocked us a little bit that you almost think that you've gotten past whatever needed to happen there in North Carolina, and then the next week you fall behind, and at the end of the day that's going to occur. You got to stay focused on the objective at hand, and just to have confidence in that if you go out there each and every play, you're going to put yourself in the best position to achieve success, and that is where that grit has to show up. That's where it's got to be sitting at it with a record that we don't really want to have, but it's a record that we've earned. And what are you going to do with it? What are we going to do with that for today's practice? What are we going to do with it for our approach to tomorrow? And then obviously as we're building towards Pitt here in the next week. I mean that has got to be the focus, and that's our daily message. And I have been pleased with the way they've come out Sunday, yesterday and today to work to improve.
Coach, you said the shock that came from the Louisville game. How do you fight against that? Like, how do these kids kind of get over that hump when they've had to deal with that so much over these last few years?
It's you have to build in the confidence of the investment you're making. I mean, these guys, they are. I mean, we're challenging them in all aspects, and we push them hard, and there's no secret about that. That doesn't mean it's going to be easy. And I tell guys all the time. I mean, you go and you look at the workloads that they're putting into a practice. You look at the the investment they're making in the classroom, and and film study, all those things. That doesn't guarantee success. And that's one of the things that you think if you work hard, well, I'm going to be successful. No, that just puts you in the best position to achieve success when you get the opportunity. But you still have to go make the play. You still have to rely on those. You have to have the confidence in the fundamentals and what you're being asked to do, and not get caught up with all the other, factors that are going on the outside. Plenty of things can distract you through the course of the game. Plenty of things can distract you in the course of your life. But if you stay focused on just the moment and not worry about the scoreboard, not worry about what people are saying or doing, or even how you vision the experience happening. If you just go out there and play the next play to the best of your ability, if you go out there to go through a practice to the best of your ability, you go out to this game and just play that to the best of your ability, then you're going to have confidence in what the results will be. And it's not always going to be perfect, and you're going to have to be able to respond through those situations. And it's just that's part of our growth. And building, and I know I mentioned that earlier in the week, building that trust through the process is something that it takes a little bit of time. It takes those experiences. And that's something that we just haven't had a ton of together. But on the flip side, the message and the focus, it is new for these guys, and they are definitely buying into that because I see it in their work. We just have to build in that confidence through the execution in the moment.